First of all, thank you all, and really, I guess just to start off, welcome. Really, we've got people. We've got people who are coming here from all over the world, as well as on the Berkeley campus. I would just give you a little snapshot of who's here. We have about half of you are Berkeley students, and I'm going to say of the Berkeley students, we have people who are undergraduate. There's I don't know, about 40 people who are undergraduate. There's another 10 or about 20 researchers that are here. And some of you are part of the new Management of Technology Innovation program. So that's all in the research-driven commercialization side. Then the list of people on the international side, I have it here. Just do me a favor, raise your hand if you are from Korea. Where are you guys? All right, very good. From China, is anyone here from China yet? I'm worried that their flight didn't arrive or something. Okay, we have a group from China, from India, from Chile. Where's our Chile? India, Chile. Okay, I saw India right there. And France, who's here from France? Very good. All right. And then we have visiting faculty who are from different places around the world that are observing the techniques and so forth that we're using. And you don't have to raise your hand or anything, but that includes Ukraine, Mexico, Lithuania, Jordan, and probably some other spots. So anyway, just welcome to you all. It's a diverse group of people that we've got here. I want to basically get through the formality almost as quickly as I can, so that we're excited to talk to you about the actual content and the purpose of the boot camp itself and of the course. The very basics, though, is it's a 4-day course. It's an actual course. And the course is offered or hosted by the Center for Entrepreneurship and Technology. The center is located in the Industrial Engineering and Operations Research Department within the College of Engineering here at Berkeley. One thing that you'll find is that we are using this method. We've been a center. The center was started 10 years ago. And so this is, as of January, that we're now in the 10th year of Center for Entrepreneurship and Technology. And over that time, we've developed ways that we teach these things that a lot of people might think cannot be taught. And it's a very different approach to teaching, and you're going to learn a bit about the approach that we're using in conveying this type of information to you. But I will say this method has resulted in many, many ventures over the years. We've had lots of people who've started ventures from it, but we've also had lots of alumni who've gone off, and sometimes they use their venture project as a starting point to learn some skills, and those skills and those network connections lead to jobs in larger and existing companies. So people go through this path, and they go across the whole spectrum, from new ventures to to very dynamic, exciting positions in companies. So one more just kind of basic thing you're going to experience. Part of our method is that we bring people from all over the world, from Silicon Valley, executives, entrepreneurs, investors, so forth. And you'll experience that both in terms of some speakers that we'll have, and you'll experience that in terms of the mentors. And there's a whole mentoring activity that's going to go on today. Also, for level setting, you are basically here. If you're an undergrad at Berkeley and you've been to our website, you've probably seen this picture. You're here at one of the starting points of our kind of curriculum, the journey that we take people through on the entrepreneurship topic. As I mentioned, people take this and they go into either an industry path or a new venture path. If you are in the MTI program, then this is a picture that's more relevant to you. It's the same course. You're in a graduate section of this course. And this particular course or this program uses this as a starting point, but a large part of the idea of this program is is to some degree the collision between the research activity and application. So it's a research-driven commercialization topic. So there's a wide range here. There's creativity-based ventures, and there's research-driven ventures. And so all of that is going on here. Now, let me just also say one word about why it's worth learning the things that we're going to be talking about here. And I'd say how many of you would like to be a founder? That's like really your goal here. Okay, I'm going to say that I've got like almost half, maybe it's like 40%, all right? So, and certainly that is a reason to understand this material. I got some basic numbers here. There are 70,000 angel investments that are made every year, right? 70,000 companies are basically funded to do something. And what you're going to learn here is the process to start on this path. But I want to say it's not the only reason to go through this activity. And I also want you to understand the balance of these things. So there's 70,000 companies that get angel investment, but only 1,000 of those get professional funding in like a much larger size professional funding. And then of those 1,000, about 100 become kind of big winners, all right? So now, if you look at it just from the basic odds, it's a 70-to-1 to get to there, and then again, a small number that you're going to go all the way through on this path. On the other hand, the way that I think is much more effective to think about it, and I just want you to fully understand the trade-offs here. If you think about it this linear path, then just realize, that's the result. If you make it all the way through, those are, of course, huge successes at the end. That's like starting Google, or that's a big success. However, what usually happens is that what you do while you're trying to do this, what you're doing right now, you're developing skills and you're meeting people. And while you're trying to do that, there are other opportunities that you come across. And this training that you're going through by trying to do this makes you the best possible candidate for what is really 25% of the kind of the new economy. The 25% of the US or the global economy is this venture-funded category. So first of all, we hope you have great success going all the way through. But at the same time, whatever you do here, it's so much of a richer path to be able to do other things in really big projects and well-funded new growth areas. So either way, whether you take this venture forward the way it is now, or whether it adapts, or whether that helps you meet other people and that turns into other opportunities, in the end, it's all about finding opportunities for you, and it's about developing lifelong skills that you can use beyond just this particular project that you're working on now, okay? All right, so I'm done with my cautionary part. I'd like to move on to the better part. Okay, but I had to do that because our board, forget it, I'm gonna move on. All right, so now I want to tell you that this bootcamp is really different, and this is the way that it's different. If you take an entrepreneurship course just about anywhere around the world, and at most universities, this is what's in most entrepreneurship courses. There's a section on how to be creative, there's a section on how marketing works, and there's a section on how to make a presentation for investment. And that's basically what it is. You can do these in any different way, but largely that's what entrepreneurship courses are. One of the things that we realize is that people are coming into this idea in very different stages, and there's a lot more complexity than this, than these three things in starting a company. And so, there is, of course, this idea that you want to figure out what would be a good idea to start with, but there's all of these other things on this continuum. There's, going from validation to finding your business model. There's how you develop a story that eventually becomes the brand of the company over time. There's the prototype that will eventually go through design changes. There's funding at some point. There's how the team is building. There's where you launch and where you get traction, and then eventually how you scale. And so we don't assume that you are just here. We're okay that you're anywhere here. And what we're going to do in the program is, for those of you who it's all a new start and you want to work on a new idea, and I'm going to show you some very specific ways to get some ideas to work from, that's fine. But if you've already are fairly far along, you've been doing something, and you're somewhere here, we're trying to get you to think, where are you actually? Where in this process are you? And can you pick something that you want to achieve in the next 4 days to make some big progress for what you're trying to do? And we're going to help you no matter what that thing is. And we have 40 mentors that are coming from Silicon Valley. We have all of the different instructors. And one thing I'll tell you, everybody who will stand here in front of you, or all of the mentors who are working with you, they have all been there at the time when they had an idea and something got messed up and they're about to run out of money, and it doesn't look like the idea is going to go anywhere, and just the whole thing seems like a mess, and the team is fighting with each other, and they've all been there when it doesn't seem like it's going to work. And they've all figured out how to adapt. They've all figured out what it's like in real life, not just like what it says, in the book about how it works, but in real life with all the actual complications that happen. Everybody that you're going to interact with has a real view, and we're trying to get our real experiences through in the communication. So while this is still a little abstract, a little bit theoretical, the people are not theoretical. The people are genuine in their ability to have done these things in very complicated situations. Okay? So think about where you are. I think that's really my main message here. 192, this is, again, just administration stuff. Our goal, we want to teach some fundamental concepts. It's 4 days long. It's both the theory and the mindset and so forth. You don't have to do any advanced reading. Multi-stage, you can be anywhere on the process. There's 1 unit of credit for the people who are taking it for credit. We are going to ask you for a 1 to 2 page report on what you learned, how you've grown in the experience at the end, after the whole thing is over. So that's actually a requirement. I just want to tell you right now it's a requirement. Okay. What will happen today? Today we're going to talk about either how you get ideas and or how you, or basically spending some time choosing your goal and spending some time with mentors to figure out what you want to do next with your venture concept. Day 2, we're going to talk really about execution, and that's all the way from validation to building momentum in the company. Day 3 is about funding and the approaches that people take to get funding and topics of that category. And day 4 is we're going to look at your content. So whatever progress you've made over 3 or 4 days, we're going to use those examples for all of us to share, and we're going to see what problem were you working on and what was possible to do, and get everyone to start to develop some patterns in terms of how people approach different aspects and different problems. So that's our goal there. Now, I want to say one other thing about Berkeley Method of Entrepreneurship. There's really 3 things that we're doing here. One is there's a number of lectures, and we're going to tell you about what I'll just generally call theory. There's a number of topics in this category. There's another category of things that you're going to learn, which is really an entrepreneurial mindset. It's how you think about things so that it leads to opportunity. And when people have, everybody has a mindset, and in their mindset, they look at things and they attach some thought to them, and then they have behaviors because of that. And sometimes people have a mindset that leads to behaviors that take you away from entrepreneurship, and sometimes people have behaviors that draw you in closer to where the entrepreneurial activity is and what actually is worth doing, and basically helping you become an entrepreneur. And where's Ken? Ken Singer, are you here? Okay, so Ken is the leader of the whole area of mindset. And he's brought to the program and to the whole method this idea of the psychological aspect of what's an entrepreneur. So while we're going to have people who are going to lecture to you on the process, we're going to have Ken work with you on the mental composition of being an entrepreneur. And then the third thing that we're going to do is we're going to introduce you to a network. And the network, like I said, 40 people are coming to who are executives, entrepreneurs, so forth. And that is your path to either connections right now, connections 6 months from now, when you need it. That's the other missing component. So if you understand how it works, you have the appropriate mindset, and you have a network of people that you can go to and use, that gives you the fundamental pieces that you need to make progress with your ventures. Okay? That's what we're going to do. Any questions before we go on? Does this sound like a good... Are you still happy you're here? Just had to check. All right. Any questions before we go on? You're fine? Okay.